So let's go to the other news. What the hell is going on with Xbox? Like and subscribe to these guys if you want. I have them subscribed on my main account.
Just
subscribed
about 9,000 people July 2nd, 2025. They axed the long teased Perfect Dark reboot, shuttered the initiative, and quietly nudged Rare's decade in the making Everwild into an unmarked grave they've been digging for God knows how. It is, unfortunately, the bigger and better sequel to last year's Carnage, when Xbox decided that Hi-Fi Rush, their massive hit, was warranting of closing the studio, and Redfall was Redfall. There was nothing that really could have been done about forcing a studio that makes immersive sim to make a stupid live service heap of vampire nonsense. Oh, except maybe not forcing them to do that and then complaining when it doesn't work. I mean, that was kind of a built-in ZeniMax problem, but still. Nothing says we believe in the power of our studios like closing them, while Phil Spencer insists he's not retiring anytime.
That's unfortunate.
Soon. The new Xbox strategy looks a lot like if you can't beat them, publish on their platform. Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, Pentiment, they're all sailing onto Sony's turf.
And these are all great games, as I hear, and I'm really interested to play them.
Blade 2 is hot on their heels. Meanwhile, Game Pass is stalled at 35 million subscribers. Not a number to shake a stick at, but it hasn't been growing and it's needed to grow. So Microsoft decided,
of course, the new subs, if they put new work for the new, to bring new games, like stuff to the platform, service stuff.
You know what? Let's start partnering with people to make third-party handhelds. Oh, and they won't play the entire Xbox catalog, just PC games that you don't need Xbox for. Yeah, a lot of head-scratching going on. This is a long intro, but in order to set it up, there's a lot to say. It feels like we've been asking this question a lot, but, well, hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, we are, again, perhaps more fervently and more seriously asking the question, what the hell is going on with Xbox? Alright, so the last year hasn't been kind to the Xbox brand with the whole Xbox Everywhere initiative and the many concerning rumors that we've been seeing coming out of Microsoft regarding the future.
They don't try to stick as much as PlayStation used to do, because PlayStation doesn't do it anymore with exclusives on the PlayStation 5. They did it on PlayStation 4. But, yeah, I think they should try a Xbox 4 strategy and put lots of way more exclusives on it for it to be bought and people play their games on Game Pass, whatever their service is, Game Pass.
Of Xbox hardware, but it seemed like things were kind of on the upswing after Xbox strong showing at Summer Game Fest. That positivity has all but evaporated with the devastating news from yesterday I mentioned at the top. You know, over 9,000.
Yes. Ooh, that's a big number. That's a huge number.
Over 9,000 people employed at Xbox have been laid off. And Microsoft, could you have at least not done the meme? I don't want to laugh about a bunch of people losing their jobs. But multiple studios have been closed for good.
Jeez.
Some highly anticipated games have been canceled. Cuts and layoffs are hitting everywhere. Even successful areas like Turn 10 and even studios working on frickin' Call of Duty. It appears that nothing and...
Ooh, they're hit bad, because Call of Duty is their main baby.
No one is safe in this major round of... Keep in mind, we're talking about the fourth major wave of firing in the last 2 years. Ever since acquiring Activision Blizzard, it has just been a bloodbath for all involved. This latest thing is a step beyond, though. It's not just support staff or QA or redundant management or whatever excuse they came up with for the last ones. This time, Xbox is coming for your job, whether you're in a studio trapped in development hell or in one of their best studios with hits coming out of it. In late June, we actually heard rumblings about potential mass culling of jobs here. And on the 2nd of July, the hammer came down. It wasn't just Xbox, it was all of Microsoft.
Microsoft makes deep cut jobs across Xbox division, cancels games. Cancelled games are the worst, especially if it was like a promising game.
About 4% of the entire Microsoft workforce, which is, to be clear, insane. The initiative, the studio formed to work on the Perfect Dark reboot, was entirely shut down. The Perfect Dark reboot has been canceled. I mentioned Rare's Everwild as well, canceled.
Perfect Dark. Sounds familiar, but I don't remember what it is. If someone wants to explain, you can in the comments.
According to insider sources, the cancellation of Everwild is actually leading to the game's director.
It was like a survival game, or it was like, I don't know. Sounds like either a survival game or Alan Wake type of game.
Greg Mayles, a 35-year veteran of Rare, who worked on games as far back as Donkey Kong Country, Banjo-Kazooie, and Viva Pinata, consulting. Just like, if you're doing this, I'm gone. I'm out, guys.
And that's bad. But maybe he retired, I don't know. 35 years. That's a lot of time to work on a game.
I mean, this is just one person among thousands, but I wanted to highlight him because he's an elder statesman of the games industry, and Mayles' exit from Rare is one of the last nails in the coffin. Classic Rare. Almost all of the old guard from that studio are just gone.
And those guys are, I guess, the best programmers because they used to do things with passion, games with passion, I guess. Well, there are exceptions, of course, to the rule, but yeah.
And it's sad to see him go. It's tough.
I think they are the more passionate developers out there. The seniors that worked on the first games that came out.
Time to be a Rare fan right now. Honestly, but in all seriousness, it's not just Rare, it's everything Xbox. Even King, the mobile game developer and massive moneymaker for Xbox, is getting like 10% of its studio cut. Raven Software and Sledgehammer are getting hit with some layoffs. A new
multiple artists, including Raven Software and Sledgehammer, are also hit by Xbox layoffs. That's bad. Bad news for Call of Duty fans. Out of them, since a lot of time, I almost didn't like the online mode that much anyhow. I like the first Call of Duties as to play single player. But yeah, big news for Call of Duty online player fans, I guess.
IP that was going to be a new MMO from the Elder Scrolls Online guys canceled, and that's far from the only thing getting canned at Bethesda. Reportedly, there are multiple unannounced projects that have been canceled. Even John Romero, the influential co-creator of Doom, was not spared Xbox's, well, I guess you could say wrath, but I don't think this is wrath. As somebody who loves video games,
more like stupidity, because they cannot make good options, good choices. I mean, to do some good strategies for Xbox.
These job losses are brutal, and hearing about all these potentially amazing games getting canceled before their time, it's super disheartening. I'm not really a console wars person. I like me some PlayStation, I like me some Nintendo Switch, and I like me some Xbox. But as such, I am an Xbox fan, and it's hard not to feel like the sky's falling after all this news. So what does Phil Spencer, the head of Microsoft Gaming, do? Why put out a tone-deaf internal message that sounds more like a press release for shareholders than anything meant to
which is a memo to stuff about upcoming Microsoft and Xbox layoffs. Oof, yeah.
Address concerns or help?
I think it's bad for everyone. The gamers too. It includes the gamers, of course.
What is, an absolutely bottom-of-the-barrel morale situation, no doubt. This entire statement is so freaking pathetic. It is pure corpo garbage that inexplicably acknowledges all the job losses while at the same time saying, I recognize that these changes come at a time when we have more players, games, and gaming hours than ever before.
It doesn't get fired either, like the other guys. Doesn't get fired.
Our platform,
it's easier for him to talk about it.
Hardware and game roadmap has never looked stronger. What the fuck is wrong with you, Phil? I'm sorry to curse, but what is that? What is that? I'll tell you what it is. He's trying to calm investors while addressing the issue.
Yeah, of course. They want the money.
For remaining staff, and it just comes off as fake as shit. We've all been willing to give Phil a shot the last few years because things have been tough. I'm not gonna pretend that things are not tough. It's getting harder and harder for anybody out there in them.
Just copy some strategies, some marketing strategies from PlayStation 4 that worked for them. It is as that, I guess, because they have the money. They can do whatever games, but their marketing strategies suck. That's the problem, really.
Streets. But it's also getting harder and harder to see his run as the leader of Xbox as a freaking disaster. Going from the top of the industry to what is essentially a third-party publisher in just over a decade is something basically only Sega can truly identify with. Like the Genesis was just, it did what Nintendo don't. And the Xbox 360, it had some pretty big problems to overcome, but they did right by consumers, and that built the brand in a massive way. It's arguable that the Nintendo Wii 1 and in terms of pure sales, but culturally speaking, the Xbox was the winner, right? Now, a lot of homegrown Xbox franchises dead in the water, floundering badly. The division is entirely propped up by their third-party purchases of Bethesda and Activision. And even then, it seems like, at least right now, the purchase of these massive studios is hurting them more than it's...
I was thinking maybe another strategy is to bring back these very old games from the 90s and in the same kind of way, like don't modify the game type like a platform or whatever, just make the graphics better and improves a lot on the gameplay, on the missions, on the quests. Like do games with passion too, and try to do more exclusives. And I think you have a winner console. What do you think?
It's helping Xbox. Like, look at how many cuts are being targeted at Bethesda and Activision. It's just Microsoft stuff here. It's across the board gaming division stuff. With how things are going at Microsoft, along with all the reports we're hearing at EA and jobs getting cut there, it's hard not to feel like the bottom is falling out of the US.
Yes, this Black Panther game. Oh, and that was a big one. That's so unfortunate. No, I feel because if cliffhanger games is that round of layoffs at the
If this really is the beginning of the end of the US dominating video games, it's at least partially a self-inflicted.
Xbox might be over in the future, maybe.
Fueled by reckless consolidation and tech industry greed, buying up everything they can without actually...
That's all said by Gameranks.
Understanding why people buy video.
Lots of greed has destroyed the industry.
Games. It's honestly completely infuriating. It's the narrative that's being built. It's not just the US games industry, honestly. There's reports that video game spending is just down across the board. After COVID, all these companies bet on infinite growth. But hey, remember how we were all stuck indoors? And
I think there are some problems that started well before COVID, like Bethesda with their 2006 Oblivion Horse Armor. Those loot boxes started way before this grid, and lots of bad choices because of the grid. So yeah.
The best thing to do with that situation...
What do you think?
...is play video games, and now we aren't all stuck indoors anymore. Oh, there's a shock with these...
And they bet, I think, well back in 2020, they bet too much that this thing will last forever, and yeah, and it didn't last forever, and they lost a lot because of that.
People thinking that the disease was going to keep us inside forever. Like, that wasn't the new normal. It was an aberration in human history.
Yeah.
That's not how human history works.
Yeah.
I know people like 28...
Never worked like that, even in the history. I don't think it lasted too many years for an industry to have a lot of time to thrive.
Years later, but that wouldn't happen, man. Not just the whole zombie aspect of it, but
to thrive enough, I mean.
Like, they die out. The zombies starve. They can't think. They just do rage shit. And eventually you run out of energy. That's how diseases work. They become last.
It's like kind of like the stock market. You have to invest at the right time and get out at the right time just before it crashes. Because otherwise you get hit pretty bad.
As a spread antibody, we don't need to get into it. I just can't fathom the reaction from all these companies that because we're in a pandemic and we're locked down and everybody's playing video games, that's how it's always going to be. I just can't fathom that. There's no set of information that implies that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's, geez. And the younger generation is literally getting priced out of their own hobby. Games that casual audiences might actually want, like Perfect Dark, they're not getting made. And Halo is not out of the woods. Who even knows what's going on with 343 right now? I know this is a real downer, but it's pretty hard not to be frustrated with this news. If there's something I could say to counteract the negativity, it's that Xbox isn't dead. All the news that's been dropped
isn't dead. It's in purgatory.
Last few days is bad, but that doesn't mean it's over. It means there's some major reshuffling going on. They do still have more than 40 games in development. There's at least one more Xbox console in the future, probably.
Let's see them. Outer Wars 2, that might be interesting. Indiana Jones, the Great Circle, The Order of Giants, I think maybe a DLC. That will be interesting. Call of Duty, I don't care, but I know there are enough fans. Ninja Gaiden, I want to see. Clockwork Revolution, I don't remember, but I think it was a cool game. High on Life is like story game with teenagers. I think I'm interested in that. Dawn Walker, yes. The vampire game. Grounded 2, it's interesting. Gears of War, yeah. Bring back some of those old ones. and improve on them a lot the right way, and they might work. I think that's a good strategy. I don't know. Final Fantasy, yes, bring those two back. Sea of Thieves, never played, but I want to play. Improve it a lot with lots more things to do. Persona 5 Revival, Persona 4 Revival. But I know there is already a gold edition which I was playing a few years back. This guy doesn't make sense. Age of Mythology Retold, Heavenly Spear, but DLC will be good for this. I think it's a good remake, as I saw. I don't know this game, Invincibles. I can already tell about the games that I like. Fallout 76, I don't care. Beast of Reincarnation, Solo Leveling, Planet of Lana. These I think are small games. I don't know for sure though. There are some interesting ones here. I think there's potential. Yeah, they should bring some of these older games back from franchises that died. That'll be cool. It's good that they finally bring Gears of War back.
At least that's what we're hearing. Game Pass isn't going to go away. 35 million subscribers is a lot.
Yeah.
It's maybe not the license to print money Xbox and Microsoft hoped it was, but 35 million subscribers is a success. They should hold on to that because that's, if I'm not mistaken, the current...
I think it's more than WoW players right now that are subscribed. I might be wrong.
game subscription service that is successful. Like, if there's a Netflix equivalent, it's Game Pass. So the news isn't all bad. It's important to keep in mind that even with all these internal issues,
it's not all bad. It's just the outcome after the disease back from 2020 when they hired too many people.
at Microsoft,
all these firings.
They're still the number one games publisher in the world. That is because they own both Bethesda and Activision, but still Xbox isn't going anywhere. And yeah, it's easy to lay the blame on Phil Spencer, and certainly he does deserve plenty. Sarah Bond, the president of Xbox, and Max Booty, the president of Game Content Studios, they deserve some blame here as well. But I do want to say this.
All the higher operations team, you guys deserve the blame.
At the end of the day, they are also just cogs in the Microsoft machine. Phil still has to answer to Satya Nadella, the CEO and chairman of Microsoft. You better believe that it was probably him and not Phil that was pushing for the reduction in staff. Phil's just keeping that. Unfortunately, though, at the end of the day, Xbox is a small portion of Microsoft's frankly massive empire. The successes and failures of that division are just a drop in the bucket compared to the revenue that the other divisions bring in, which is an important and humbling reminder of just how seriously the company takes the division, which appears to be not that much. In the past few years under Nadella, it's felt like the sword of Damocles was just hanging over Xbox, waiting to fall. We have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. It's all pure speculation, but it literally just could.
All this stuff they did since 6, 7, 5 years ago, it comes back and bites them now. This is what I think. It's not just the recent years. That's my conclusion.
Be that rather than a string of bad decisions. I don't know that.
Yeah, and a string of bad decisions, one after the other.
I would say.
With good, smaller decisions in between, maybe.
It's that, but Phil could have been trying to stave the inevitable off for the past few years, just trying to keep the gaming division alive when the vultures at Microsoft's other divisions are circling. I want to note that this is possible and probably some of the explanation at bare minimum, but it's also not to say that the Xbox team...
If they go down too, it'll be a massive win for PlayStation and the other consoles. They'll have less competition, I guess. Hopefully they won't, though. I don't want for that to happen.
Hasn't made serious blunders. The way they've handled their internal studios like 343 The Coalition and the now closed The Initiative has been a disgrace. Xbox was handed some of the greatest IPs ever, like Halo, Gears of War, and yes, Perfect Dark. There was major potential there, and they squandered it with poor management. We've been quick to praise Microsoft's hands-off approach, Steve.
Perfect Dark, let's see a bit. What was this game about? Wait, nope, not Yahoo. YouTube. Perfect. I want to see what is it about.
Your target is in possession of a radioactive device. Don Carrington's attack at all costs. Good luck, Agent.
I always knew I had an instinct.
In copyrighted music, like any other mission. Let's see in betweens. Let's see it all. I think it's like a cyberpunk game. Yeah, futuristic game.
How far to his last known location?
I don't think it's copyrighted.
Find him.
I'll have to improvise.
Doesn't have any voice.
Generating voice print.
It's time. There's the lot.
Oh yeah, I think I saw the trailer once.
But what about
Cyberpunk, like, see the UI is...
what
I see the UI is kind of the same as Cyberpunk.
things are you getting?
The upper left part of it.
Do you add ratings from your monitor? Work confirm?
I'm looking at the screen right now.
Intact on the second floor.
And the life we think we know turns out to be a lie. There's only one way forward. Find the truth. Scans clear. I'm going in blind. Harrington! Damn it! Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a research.
Yeah, it looks interesting, for sure.
He attacked the casualties.
Like a detective game.
Yeah, Carl.
Like detective games.
Agent Stark, pleasure to meet you. I could use someone with your skill.
I like environmental kills and that you have multiple type of like bullets, like elemental bullets. It adds a nice variety to the game. Oh, you have bullet time too. Nice.
I had to lose everything before I could see what this world was really hiding.
I hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door, there's no going back.
And if there is some other planet here, there's some interplanetary action too. Wait, at the end here.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door,
Can end one of these better games, interplanetary games. Better than Starfield maybe.
there's no going back.
Interesting how they combine the interplanetary stuff with the planetary stuff. Yeah, it looked interesting. Unfortunately, it was cancelled. Yeah. Oops. What the hell?
Moments.
It was here. Let's resume where we were.
And it's led to some amazing stuff, especially from Obsidian, who are proving to be the MVPs of the entire division lately. Seriously, you know who I haven't had to mention up till this point in the video? Obsidian. That is of note, to say the least. But in the case of other studios management, like a Halo and Gears specifically, maybe a little more hands-on would have been helpful. If they had, maybe the initiative wouldn't floundered for nearly 10 years.
It's becoming kind of dark. Wait a sec.
Practically nothing to show for it with Perfect Dark. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not that hard to make a Perfect Dark game. You could literally just reboot it and do the first game's plot with changes, and I think everybody would be pretty psyched as long as it turned out well. Like, it doesn't even really have to be original as long as it does what it's supposed to do and adds enough that it's not just the same game again. Like, the initiative was formed in 2016. They've had basically nothing but some vertical slices, according to reports. Compare Microsoft's handling of their studios to someone like Nintendo, who's very hands-on. Some developers buckle under the pressure. Yeah, I've seen reports Retro Studios really struggled with Nintendo working on Metroid Prime, but at the end of the day, it's an all-time great game. With Xbox, it's 10 years of nothing followed by cancellation. And that's always been a problem with Xbox to a certain degree. This slow, gradual transition from major hardware competitor to third-party software developer, publisher, whatever, it's sad to see. Maybe in Microsoft's eyes, this is a more profitable direction to take things, but as a gamer, it feels like the mighty have fallen. It feels like the industry itself, the hobby, not necessarily Xbox, but this is a huge pillar of the gaming industry that is crumbling. I told you, I am not a console wars person. Seeing this happen to a big company that was this successful, which technically has a much bigger company behind it, that up until this point has just been willing to fund it to no end.
I think this is the normal, the normal run of a company. It has some bad moments too, and yeah, it's how they recover from this that will be like okay for them in the future or not, or they'll go down. It will be okay for the competitors.
I mean, if you don't see something in those tea leaves, I don't know if you're looking. That doesn't look good. Like, I will say, it could be an economic response to the post-COVID dip, and it may eventually even out.
Yeah.
Maybe all this doom and gloom around Xbox is unwarranted. Maybe they had to make these moves, and this is stuff that...
Maybe what they do today, it's good for the future. Because what they do today, we will see in the future. And what they did yesterday, we see today. So, yeah.
will end up working out in the future. I don't know. But as an old-time game bird, someone who's watched this happen to Sega and now is watching it again with Xbox, but now in a completely different economic.
I don't know about Sega. What really happened to them? They are dead. I don't hear much of them anymore. That's what I know.
Climate. Seeing how things have been going the last few years just really sucks. I don't really care about Microsoft's bottom line. I care about video games in the case of this situation. I care about Xbox games and positive feelings I've had about the original console and all the amazing games back on the 360. But more and more, the division feels less like that Xbox and more just Bethesda and Activision because they're really doing the lion's share of the game publishing now. Almost all the old stalwarts at Xbox, the games that put the console on the map, they're seemingly dying. I hope that's not the case. I hope Halo comes back bigger and better than ever. But right now, that possibility feels very distant. So to answer the question, what the hell is going on in Xbox? What the hell is up with Xbox? What the hell is this? Well, a lot of people are getting fired and some highly anticipated games are getting canceled. Unfortunately, the vaporware nature of both Perfect Dark and Everwild means that the cancellations are probably justified. These were probably money holes. That doesn't make it not sting, though. What really sucks is the loss of all these other unnamed games from Bethesda, including a new IP from ZeniMax. It all
Damn, that one looks great.
just looks
The last one.
really bad for Xbox on the whole, but this was the inevitable result of their purchase of Bethesda and Activision. Like, that's how industry stuff works. Jobs are gonna
Both of them, Activision and Bethesda, going down because of their greed. So yeah,
get lost.
now the result is they took all this responsibility onto them, and yeah, it affects them. Microsoft, the main company.
But I don't know if anybody really predicted how bad this was going to get. The cutting around 50% of the staff at Turn 10, the guys behind Forza
50%, that's a lot.
is especially brutal, as are the cuts at Call of Duty developers like Raven and Sledgehammer. I mean, Call of Duty is basically a license to print money now. Like, that's not changing either. It doesn't have any evidence of changing. So if you think anyone would be protected, it would be them. It's a bloodbath across the board, and things might sound really bad. Xbox, unfortunately, whether they deserve to or not, is going to weather the storm. What Xbox is going to be after the storm, I have no
Yeah, hopefully a better studio. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes.
idea. But Microsoft is a monolith. They're basically untouchable in the tech space. And at least for now, it seems like there's interest in keeping the gaming division alive. Otherwise,
I know their stock is still going up like a lot. The other divisions are doing well. If the gaming one doesn't do well, they can still get lots of money to recover, I guess.
it wouldn't be, a
If they made the right choices too.
percentage of layoff. They could just shut the whole damn thing down. I don't know. Maybe in the future, we'll look back and see this as another step in the decline of Xbox has started.
Yeah, I was thinking hopefully they don't shut Bethesda and WoW down. That'll be really bad. I think Bethesda, if they learn from their mistakes, they can still do another good Elder Scrolls game. Maybe not the best Elder Scrolls game, but a good one, a good foundation where modders can build on top of it, like the old games, like they did partially with Oblivion Remastered. But if they follow their old formula, they can still do a good game, and the modders can make it better. I don't know about WoW, but I think they have some cool expansions. I played like 1 year and a half ago, and yeah, I don't know about now, but I think they still have potential if they learn from their mistakes too.
All the way back in 2013 with that embarrassing Xbox One reveal, or maybe not. I hope things stabilize, not just for the future of Xbox, but
Hopefully a good Fable too, because it's their game. I don't want to lose Fable. I love all of their games. I love the atmosphere. It's one of a kind. It's lightning in a bottle. I think even if it's not the best game, in the gameplay, it's like you are reading a story and you are in it. Kind of like vibe that other games don't give you necessarily. What do you think? Am I right?
future of gaming and the developers and workers that are still with the company. And hell, the developers and workers that aren't with the company anymore. There is a serious problem if Xbox is facing the need to cut at this rate. That has implications beyond if they keep their job at Xbox. Are there going to be jobs?
It's really hard to be a game developer nowadays, I think. Really risky, I mean, because if you have family and a credit at the bank and stuff like that, you can lose that.
Elsewhere to get. There's a lot up in the air right now. Morale has got to be at rock bottom at the company too. Hopefully things improve for these guys and they're able to make great games, because that's what matters, right? That's what we all hope happens. What do you think? Leave us a comment. Let us know.
Like and
Like this
subscribe.
video with like. If you're not subscribed, it's a
Guys,
great time to
they
do
do
so.
good
We upload
content.
brand new videos